Oh my gosh, I am very happy to say that we are joined by a special guest today, Aaron Imholte from Steel Toe. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, nothing. I don't know what I have to do with anything Chad Zumock related, but thanks for having me.
Okay, so let me explain what I have here for us today. Aaron, of course, from the Steel Toe Morning Show, also someone who has some things to say about Chad Zumock and his style of entertaining. So,
style of what?
Yeah. So Chad recently did a live stream. He does these from time to time, and then he immediately deletes them. And fortunately, I have people out there who help me out, who record these things and send them to me. And boy, was he going off on you, because he found out Anthony Cumia just did the Steel Toe show. And this pissed him off.
I was wondering if I'd hear from Opie or Chad first. I didn't know who it would be, but I am secretly tickled to know that it was the lovely, talented, and newly sober Chad Zumock.
Yes, correct. He's sober. He's loving it. He's addicted to being sober. I think he says at one point in this.
Yeah, he's the best he's ever been.
He's the best he's ever been.
I have to say, always set the bar low.
He's already seeing differences in himself. He's bragging about it. Yeah. Now, Aaron, you have not seen this yet, right?
No, I have not. I'm very excited.
And Eric, you haven't seen this either, right?
Nope, I have not.
Okay, perfect. Because I wanted to get the reaction from both of you. Let's start off with somebody tells Chad Anthony Cumia did Aaron's show. So this is his real-time reaction to that.
Yeah, today did 90 minutes? What the fuck? Boy, Anthony, way to ruin whatever fucking legacy you have by going on some fucking open micer show for 90 minutes. How bored are you?
All right.
So fuck.
Anthony has ruined his legacy by going on Aaron's show. And by the way, Aaron, I didn't know that you were an open micer. I thought that you were a morning jock. I thought was your job.
I thought I was just a morning hack, but apparently I'm an open micer. Takes one to know one, I suppose.
I suppose so. That's not the. I know you've done stand up before, but that's not really what you're known for.
Boy, talk about the curtain jerker calling the open micer a hack. Boy.
All right, so you can tell he's very upset that Anthony was on your show for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
what the
Anthony was very generous with his time, and he was very funny, and we had a great time. I don't know why that would upset someone so much.
Wow, he is very upset. He thought that Anthony was better than that.
Good for Anthony for going on a shit show. What's next? A public access show?
Hey,
Anthony, you're better than that. You're better than going on a show that's way beneath you. But whatever.
I'm glad he doesn't care.
No, he obviously does not care. And
glad he doesn't care.
Yeah.
I'm jealous because I tried to get that type of blowback from him years ago. And he did. I just got blocked. And that was it. He's extremely thin-skinned, never said shit about. I only said shit about me once.
Oh, Eric.
And then that was it.
He texted me about that. He goes, "Who the fuck is this Eric Zane guy?" Because when you were talking shit about him, he was all sorts of butthurt about it.
Yeah. Since then, he's more responsive to these moments, and that's excellent. That's excellent work.
What I love about this is that people go in his chat to tell him this stuff to elicit exactly this reaction. Like the person who went to tell him this wasn't going there to be like, "Hey, Chad, just thought you might like to know." They're like, watch what he's going to do here.
Chad is playing 2D chess over here. There's only one place to move your thing. All right, so this is Chad projecting, and we learn a lot about Chad with his immediate reaction. He didn't think this out. He hasn't really thought about this. He just learned that his buddy Anthony, who he's been on Anthony's show so many times, he looks up to him. He's just destroyed his legacy by talking to Aaron in April for 90 minutes.
I'm sure it was fantastic. I guarantee that fucking tryhard, it's probably the biggest guess he's ever got. He's probably like nervous. He's like, "Oh my God, I get to talk to Cumia." He's probably jerking off to it like, "Yeah, I fucking did it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh." Stayed up all night shaking. Fucking dork. Wow.
Yes,
'Cause
and
I'm never offended. I'm never
Yeah,
mad.
so what? Well,
jerked
first
off
of all,
twice, asshole.
yeah, I fucking A.
I like that he says he was up shaking. This is
Yeah.
the guy who's visibly shaking on almost every show when people fuck with him.
Every time,
So he's
including
projecting.
probably now. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, I love it. And he hasn't heard the interview yet. And if I were Chad and I were already mad that Anthony and I spoke for an hour and a half, don't listen to the interview, because two of Anthony's favorite topics to keep coming back to make fun of. One, obviously, Greg Opie Hughes. His second favorite was Chad Zumock.
Oh my God.
All right.
Did you ever want
Good stuff.
As he's doing this video, he's walking through a neighborhood. You know? Can you imagine the neighbors looking out at this crazed lunatic psychopath
I didn't pull the
stumbling
clip,
around?
but there's at one point there's a guy out in his driveway, like working on his car, and Chad's just in front of him yelling into his phone. I can't imagine what these people think. There must be welfare checks being called in.
Yeah,
all
they
the time.
always have their phone in one hand and they're about to hit dial, and they go, "Oh, no, it's Zumock again. Never mind.
It's Zumock.
Okay. I thought it was a vagrant."
Yeah, when do we get homeless people around here? Jesus Christ.
Can I ask, because I'm still establishing a timeline, because a lot of what I have for you when we feature it involves Chad v. Aaron. What happened? What is it? The same scenario as what I did? I just didn't like him and I precipitated a fight, or what?
So the Stuttering John stuff started, taking off, and then Chad said he was going to jump in. And on our show, we saw it, and we'd never heard of Chad before, but we immediately kind of diagnosed exactly what it was, what he was without knowing it. We were like, oh, this guy's just trying to hop on to try and get some traction. He's just trying to piggyback off of other stuff, and he won't admit it. And then it really struck a nerve with him.
Okay.
He started bringing us up in the same breath as what a piece of shit Carl is, and what a piece of shit Chrissy and Frank are, and all that stuff. And we just kept playing it. Like every time he spoke, we'd play it. We'd make fun of him. And then it just really,
the best part, if I could just elaborate on that, the best part, Aaron, was at first he knew everything about your show. And then he didn't know who you were or where you're from. They're from like North Dakota or something. I think his name is Bill. I don't know.
Andy.
He tried to pull one of those moves.
Yeah. It's so much. I mean, he was just always so much fun to tease and make fun of. But now it's not even a colorful spiral. It's like the guy hit the ground, like he did the spiral, he hit the ground, and now he's continuing to burrow into the earth. Like the laws of physics don't apply to the downfall of Chad Zumock. He hits the object and then continues to bury beneath it. He can't be held by the laws of physics.
And yet still maintains that he's winning.
All the time.
Oh, he goes on and on in this live stream talking about how when people bet against him, he always wins and he always comes out on top. And it's like, dude, look at where you are right now. You're not on top. You're not top of anything.
That must be a hell of a point spread. I tell you what, if he's winning. Holy shit.
All right. This is great, because now what you're going to see here is him trying to figure out what Anthony would even talk to Aaron about on his show.
Going?
Oh, hey, this goes on for a while. Check this out.
And if you're a follower and you believe in he contradicts himself all the time, goes back on everything he says, really doesn't stand for shit. And you can tell he's a narcissist for no reason.
He's talking about you, by the way.
He's talking about me?
He's talking about you.
I make it very clear on my program numerous times, I have zero convictions.
But
I don't really know what I'm going back on.
My problem with this, though, is if you're going to call somebody out for something this specifically, give an example. Just a single example is all I'm going to need from you. If I was like, Chad Zumock's never said a funny joke, I can give you 38 examples.
Right. Yeah.
I have them on my board right here.
Yeah, you've literally played a clip of his stand-up and watched it not be funny.
Yeah. I wouldn't just come out here and be like, you know what? I don't like about Chad Zumock. He's not funny. All right, moving on. It's not, doesn't prove anything. But all right, I'm going to start this over again. Now that you know he's talking about you, this gets very funny.
And if you're a follower and you believe in he contradicts himself all the time, goes back on everything he says, really doesn't stand for shit. And you can tell he's a narcissist for no reason. And his ego got shattered by me, and he can't let it go. He cannot let it go after he admitted defeat.
Do you remember admitting defeat there, Aaron?
I do actually forget. I don't know if you have it on your board or if anybody has a clip. I do not recall this admitting defeat moment, but I'm sure when Chad swears to God he believes he heard it, I'm sure when he repeats it in his head, it sounds great.
You know, he's developing tits too.
Yeah.
And he's starting to look like one of the people. If you ever saw that movie Cocoon about the old folks, that's what he reminds me of, one of the people in that fucking movie.
He was on I watched a little MLC today. I literally watched 5 minutes of it, and the entire chat was talking about how fat Chad was. They said, the entire chat was going over under 280, and they were all guessing over, and like he's tipping $3 I mean, that show has stopped being about like people watching a show. It's now just hundreds of people in a chat entertaining each other with creative ways to shit on Chad Zumock.
God, it's remarkable how John fades because of he's not doing anything to this has taken up. It's just supplanted. It's remarkable.
I think Chad's whole obsession with like victory and defeat must come from the fact, this is the only like diagnosis I can give, is that he fired his big atom bomb, which was like the kids and the ex-wife stuff and all of that. And then we kept releasing videos, kept watching his streams, kept making fun of him. And he went, oh shit, I don't have anything else. So I'll just say I won and then shout it 80 times.
He's not convincing me on that one.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are providing all these examples. He goes, yeah, you got divorced. What an asshole.
What a dick.
Oh, also, and he predicts that April will also leave you eventually, which is another W for Chad. Someday, April's not even going to want to be with him anymore. I win again.
Of course. I'm 8 years older. When I'm 50 and even grosser than now, of course she's going to bail. That's not a fair prediction to make. We've got to set a what do you call it? Statute of limitations on that prediction.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right. I want to get back to this clip.
And I bet you any amount of money, because I know how this guy thinks, I guarantee he had Cumia on, and he probably brought me up right out of the gate just because his narcissistic injury and his ego was blown.
All right. This is hilarious.
You know what's funny about that? I have to say, I didn't bring Chad up, but Anthony sure did.
You brought up Opie. And what Chad is saying here, he goes, this guy's such a narcissist, he probably talked about me. That's what a narcissist would think, you idiot.
Right.
Do you not realize what you're doing right now, you moron?
If I was a narcissist, I would just talk about myself to Anthony the whole time. I wouldn't go, hey, how about that fucking asshole Chad? You know?
Chad makes it about him immediately. I bet you any amount of money. He talks about me immediately. He's like, well, how much money? Because you lost.
Well, whoever tipped him off on Anthony being on the show, this is the reaction they wanted.
This is exactly
and he is providing it in spades.
Oh, thank you.
It's very much like you broke up with someone and you heard they were on a date with someone else. You're like, I bet you they talked shit about me the whole time.
Yeah.
That is that term is his go-to term. He's been doing that for literally years. Bert Kreischer's a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
John Lennon's a narcissist.
Chrissy Mayer's a narcissist.
Chrissy Mayer's, Frank Pellegrino's a narcissist. These are all narcissists. It's like, I don't know if you're getting that word right. I think you're making that too broad of a term.
But let me also say this though. He's talking about people in show business. People in show business tend to be narcissists. It's not that surprising.
You kind of have to toot your own horn in order to make a living. You know, I mean, fucking A. It's okay. Guilty. What else?
No shit.
He might have just dicked up the entire N section of the dictionary because he doesn't know narcissist and he doesn't know the word narrative. So,
oh God,
that might be a theme.
He brings that up again too, that we're setting the narrative. And meanwhile, that's all this guy tries to do. He even said, and I don't have this clip, so I'll just say it. He talks about how good things are going on Misery Loves Company since he came back to the show. He talks about, actually, you know, I do have a clip on that. Let's finish this one first.
Because I know how this guy thinks. I guarantee.
He didn't even know what your name was a month ago, and now he knows how you think.
Knows how I think, knows my every
move. On, and he probably brought me up right out of the gate just because his narcissistic injury and his ego was blown. I guarantee it. I will put money down. I know how this guy thinks. This guy's a fucking wannabe. This guy's ego is, he's hurting. He's hurting. And he tries to manipulate his audience. He'll try to make people think a certain way. And he probably took Anthony down a weird road because Anthony will go where the wind blows. If he says like, oh, this guy's great, he's like, oh, yeah, he's great. If he's like, oh, this guy stinks, he's like, oh, yeah, he stinks. He just goes where the wind blows.
Boy, Chad has everybody figured out, doesn't he? He's got this is a god. This is Sigmund Freud in 2023. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, he Anthony, he's just a weak-willed that's a weird insult to lob at Anthony because he probably knew Anthony made fun of him. So like, well, Anthony doesn't really believe it. He'll just go wherever the podcaster with 7,500 subs goes, because he's so intimidated by it.
Yeah, I know. It's such an insult to Anthony right there.
All he does is flex on people, and nothing like sticks. Everybody just kind of shrugs when he does it. It's just, ugh.
So I watched the interview you did with Anthony, and I'll just say, for Chad's sake, because I know he won't be able to watch it, he'll be too upset about it. Yeah. But the way that it started out was talking about Opie and how Opie agreed to do your show, and then he must have gone through hours of footage and found like one little clip where you didn't have complimentary things to say about Opie, and then he said, you know what, man, maybe next year. I'm busy.
I'll tell you, it was worse than that. Like, I hate to sound like a yuppie, but I was on the golf course and Opie said yes on the first hole. And by the 12th hole, Opie had DM'd me and sent me a clip of my show and said, right here, and then timestamped it and said, at this mark, you said, Opie may not be funny, but at least he has a family. That's what Opie found that made him go, I don't know. And I hear from other people that you trash me. And the line that really got me to be like, I hate this guy was he goes, I'll revisit you in the fall.
Right.
Yeah. Like fucking Netflix is going to greenlight it. What an asshole.
You might be like, a mid-season replacement in my book. We'll see.
I'll revisit it. What a dick.
I'm the 7th season of Scrubs to Opie, I suppose. I don't know.
I love the fact that you said that Opie's not funny, and Opie's like, what an asshole. Like, even Opie knows that Opie's not funny. What is he upset about?
Exactly.
This is a pretty well-known fact.
It was actually a compliment, again, because like you said, I didn't know he wasn't funny. But my whole thing was like, somebody was shitting on Opie for something. And I said, well, you look, Anthony and Jimmy were really funny on that show. And Opie may not be the funniest guy in the world, but he's got a family. He's got things going on. And of course, Opie latched on to the not funny part. Right.
By the way, that's literally what the O&A subreddit turned into, was people complimenting Opie and calling out the other two guys. And I think that Opie was fine with that when that was happening. I don't know why he's upset with you over that clip. I would ask for. By the way, I got to ask Opie to be on my show. If that's what it takes for him to go like check out hours of what we talk about on here, maybe I should invite him on.
So I'm getting the idea that Chad was not happy that Anthony was on our show.
He's pretty upset about it. I'm going to get back to that. First, let me tell you that everything's going great in his life. There's another, you talked about how Stuttering John has faded a little bit. Here's a little parallel with Stuttering John here.
Everything's great. Clean slate, got money in the bank, got gigs. I'm working on a writing gig right now that's paying great. Everything's fantastic.
A writing gig that's paying great? Is he a substitute teacher? I've heard this before.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carl. I was keeping tally marks of how many lies he's told in these first 10 seconds.
Kevin Brennan has been throwing me some serious cash for MLC. Holy shit. Don't get it twisted. Kevin Brennan has been very generous with the MLC.
Now, I've watched MLC. I know how much money he's making because there's super chats coming in. How much money could be throwing to Chad?
Yeah, well, serious money to Chad. I mean, you got to grade that on a curve, don't you?
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Because when he said serious money, I'd love to know what that amount is. Because, of course, very famously, when Kevin Brennan decided to stop going on Anthony's show and then immediately came back, he talked about how Anthony was paying him $100 per episode.
Right.
Kevin was bitching about that.
Fuck.
So I wonder, like, what amount of money is Kevin giving to Chad? It can't be more than $100.
I would like to know.
He's not giving him a fucking dime. Come on. He's just too fucking proud to admit it. You know, people like this, it's all about image. He's a walking fucking Ponzi scheme. That's what this guy is. He doesn't have anything.
But Ponzi schemes work because there are people who buy into it. This guy has no one buying into it.
Okay, that's a terrible analogy. I don't know. House of Cards. I don't know.
In fairness, if he worked out a deal with Brennan where every super chat that was shitting on Chad Zumock, Chad gets to keep, he's probably going to be buying a really nice house soon.
He can buy a new Honda Civic with that kind of money.
He can actually afford an Equinox.
All right, so let's get back to shitting on Aaron. And
sure,
I don't know if you know this about Chad, but he's a mud shark. He will play in the mud, and he's going back into the mud on this one.
Yeah, did he meet the goal with Anthony? That's all I want to know.
Yes.
Did he look at his 3 bastard kids and say, hey, Daddy's got to go meet the goal in the basement?
Ooh, that's bad.
Are you going to work?
Chad.
No, I'm going to the basement to play YouTube.
Chad.
But how do we have health insurance? I don't know. But let me go beg for some money, kids. And then I'm going to go get a vasectomy so your new mommy can't have a kid.
Ooh, boy.
What shit talking is this?
What the fuck?
Weird.
I have to surrender on one level.
Yeah.
They do only have the silver plan. So, I mean,
The co-pays are a bitch.
you look, it's a little tougher, but we make it work, you know, in the new America.
Yeah, we can't go to urgent care today because I didn't meet my goal on the podcast.
Honestly, I watch Chad do this stuff, and I know in Chad's mind that's a big winning. But I think you heard me during the clip. When Chad goes to this level, even I go, oh, Chad.
I know. Right.
Oh, Chad.
It's
like,
not
why?
good shit talking in any single way to bring up someone's family and then make assumptions about their family life. It's like,
right.
What are you talking about?
Well, you know, but he doesn't have a family. I mean, this man is going to be, in all seriousness, he's going to die very lonely. And that's terrible.
Me with a vasectomy still has the same probability of impregnating a woman. So I'm not worried.
All right. So after this, I don't have the clip, but Chad goes on to talk about this new Patreon episode he just did about Chris D'Elia. And he's saying that his episode about Chris D'Elia is better than everyone else's because Chad actually knows Chris.
Oh.
So he's like, I remember he used to do open mics with Whitney Cummings and Chris D'Elia when he was in LA 10 plus years ago. So he says, I think it's probably 15 years ago now. I actually knew Chris D'Elia, so you got to listen to my take on this Chris D'Elia documentary and controversy because I actually know the guy. Meanwhile, I've watched that documentary. They interview one of Chris's closest friends.
Yes.
His tour manager. Yeah. Like that guy knows way more about Chris D'Elia than you do, Chad Zumock. I love that you think you're the one who has a hot take on Chris D'Elia.
And then he interviews multiple women. So what Chad's saying is, these multiple women who knew Chris, totally full of shit. Wait till I give you them.
Yeah, you guys got to hear my take on it because I did open mics with this guy 20 years ago. I haven't talked to him in 15 years. You got to hear my take on this.
Yeah.
Fucking moron. Oh, Chad. He's the best. When's he going to stop talking about doing open mics with Whitney Cummings? He's brought that up so many fucking times. Like, I knew someone who became famous. Yeah, neat.
Yeah, cool. Right.
I met Brother Weeze once.
All right. Well, now let's... with the cocking off, please.
All right. So let's talk about April again. This is talking about Aaron's lovely wife, April.
You got to take his wife. She needs rescued. Yeah, he fucking preyed on her. He's a salesman, dude. You can tell that guy's just a total salesman. He's a kiss ass. He's a brown noser. He had to sell ads to be on the radio. So he took this poor girl from the woods, this April, who doesn't know any better. She probably went to a high school of 50 people, didn't have much of a selection. This guy probably wooed her and lied to her and pretended like he was this big radio guy because he looks like shit. Absolute dog shit.
No, he doesn't.
Looks like fucking Jared Fogle with man tits, even though Jared Fogle had man tits. And somehow manipulated the shit.
No, if I'm Chad, I'm not calling anyone out for man tits. Don't even bring that up. You know?
Chad can actually suck his own. He can actually suck his own tits. Chad.
Here's the worst thing about Chad. Every time he goes through this rap with me, I want to jump into his streams and go, no, let me help you shit talk me.
Right.
I want to get in there. This needs to be better. Let me say this about me. I almost want to write
the idea that he's saying that you married a girl who's out of your league is not shit talking. And his wife's way too good for him. Okay. Yeah. I'd love for people to say that about me too.
By the way, And by the way, when he's listing all of the things, suggesting all of these things that you've been able to do to become not single, those to me all sound like qualities. It sounds like you've obviously established a rapport with your significant other.
Yes.
She understands you.
You talked a
there's a
hot
lot.
broad into fucking you? What a loser.
Oh, well, to me, you're that's a goddamn legendary moment. You wanna hang out with that guy.
Thank you. And yeah, Chad's whole like angle here on his shit talk is that he can't figure out how somebody did that. Like, his whole thing is like, this guy talked a girl into being attracted to him, and he was ambitious enough to woo her and this and that. What kind of homo does that?
And also, he must have lied to her about how famous he is. She's on his show. She knows.
Yeah.
She's seen the books.
The lie continues.
This guy, Aaron Imholte, he was like nice to her and treated her with respect. What a fucking queer.
Yeah.
All right, I got to get back to this clip. It's still going here.
Full head man tits. And somehow manipulated this chick to take care of his 3 kids and pretending he was a radio guy. It's going to end badly. He has these like little things, these little short things where he thinks he's winning. In the long run, the guy's going to lose, and he's losing. So if he really did have Anthony Cumia on today, congratulations on your get. How nervous were you to meet Anthony? Because I've been on a show over 10 times, and I don't give a fuck.
And he hates your guts.
He has no idea. He has no idea that with every single moment like this, you're adding to the story arc. That's why you appear on Anthony's show.
I know. I'm not the one writing this narrative over here. Chad's doing it all on his own.
And he doesn't understand how it goes. If you've ever listened to Anthony when he speaks to him on his show, he's very calm and slow and measured, and he talks down to him in this way that, and the fucking idiot doesn't get it. He's like, oh yeah, I'm a big shot. I can come on Anthony's show anytime I want. Oh, you stupid twat.
Yeah, Chad, don't worry. We spent an hour and a half doing the interview and 20 minutes before talking, and Anthony may or may not have laughed at your expense in that 20 minutes off the air. And then in the 20 minutes after we did the interview, he may have also brought you up again and made fun of you, only to stop because he had to play Call of Duty. So,
but Aaron, even though you're currently winning and you continue to win, you're actually losing in the long run and face.
I thought his whole thing was he's a mud shark and he's winning. Yeah. Did I hear that wrong, Carl? Did he actually say I'm winning now?
It might seem as if Aaron's doing very well and his show is on the rise, but no.
You know, Chad he thinks he's winning because he's scoring goals, but what he doesn't understand is he's a guy sitting in his own goal, just wrapping the puck in there on himself.
Yes. State of hockey. You know we're going to get a hockey reference, for fuck's sake.
Well, you know, after tomorrow, I might not have football to talk about. So,
don't talk like that.
Oh, we're gonna win. You're a Vikings fan. You have to be negative so that good things happen.
Are the Giants favored in that game?
Hey, goddamn you, we're favored by 3.
Not by much. Yeah, I was looking at the lines like, what the fuck happened to the Vikings?
It's 3.5, and I had heard on ESPN that 3.5 is the credit you get for being at home. So
yes,
true. Yeah, exactly. It's not good. Okay. Enough football talk. If you guys want to hear football talk, you can subscribe to Chad's Patreon. He does football episodes on there. I've never heard it. No one has, but I'm sure it's great.
I don't mean to jump in, but I can edit mine because I have a ton of Zumock material.
Oh, I know. And I only have a few more to go through, and then I want to get into your stuff.
I know, but I didn't want you to feel pressure. You know what I mean? Sorry to break the wall.
No. I never feel pressure. In fact, if you leave here thinking you did a bad job, then I've done my job right.
Okay, good. Perfect.
I want you to feel bad about yourself.
Excellent.
Get confident, stupid.
All right. Chad's gonna talk about how sexy he is here.
Oh, God.
I'm telling you right now, come July, when I am sexy as fuck, it's coming.
Oh, no.
You're going to look like fools. You're going to have egg on your face. I'm already 2 weeks into the workout. I'm starting to see differences. It's going to be nice.
Those tits are coming
Get
along.
on board now. Get in line, son.
By the way,
Jesus.
he's setting himself up for failure. Why would you ever declare you're going to be sexy in July? Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't say you're going to do it. Just do it.
Never set a goal publicly of what you're going to look like or anything like that, because there's already sharks ripping him to pieces. Like, Carl and I don't have to do this anymore because it's been outsourced to fans and they just go on everything he does and pick him apart. This is a massive mistake, almost as massive as his tits have gotten from him.
It's a bigger blunder than his chest.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, but his growth is so exponential that, I mean, if he wanted to right now, he doesn't even have the ability, if he controls the angle of the phone, to look somewhat skinny, because his face and chin are round. It's not just the tits; it's the face and chin. It looks like he's on some type of steroid.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right about his tits, though. I mean, they are getting really bad now that I notice. When he dies, people are gonna gather around him and chant his name was Robert Paulson.
I don't get that reference, but I gave you a courtesy laugh.
Fight Club. Meatloaf. He had giant tits. There you go, guys.
All right. Now, let's get into some DabbleCon talk. Now, obviously, we're doing DabbleCon in Rochester February 3rd and 4th. Aaron was going to come, and now can't make it, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm bummed about it. I was looking forward to hanging out with you guys.
We were too.
But this is Chad's take on the Stuttering John thing.
You guys are so fucking gay with the Stuttering John shit.
Gay.
Who's the next Stuttering John? We need to post on Reddit. We gotta go to DabbleCon. We're gonna play pin the tail on Stuttering John. We get to hang out with Chrissy and Carl. Oh my God, that sounds like fun. Oh my God, I'm gonna book a $400 plane ticket to Rochester and get a hotel for this.
Wow.
He seems to have some strong feelings on this.
Yeah, he's obviously
got
winning.
it down though. He knows the agenda of your fucking show.
That's true.
You know who's
Also,
really losing? The people he's walking by.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also,
he's screaming about it like a guy who is the next Stuttering John.
He
Like,
sure
he
is.
yeah. And not for nothing, but he's talking about $400. I guess that's a lot of money to Chad, but a lot of people can afford that.
Yeah.
For
He's dripping with cash. He just told us.
For a lot of people, it's not that big of a deal. It's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
And then right after that, he says again that the only people who do the Stuttering John stuff well are Shuley, Bob, and Mike. And you know why? It's because they're comics and they know Stuttering John. I'm glad that Chad mentioned that again.
Jesus.
I have one more thing that I want to play for you guys. But then we're going to get into the stuff that that Eric grabbed for us. I have not watched this yet. Now, my buddy Jackie Marlowe is the one who sent me these clips. He just sent me, right before we went on air today, a clip from the latest Misery Loves Company. And he just explained that we have to watch this. So I'm just going to, I trust him. He always sends me good stuff. We're just going to check this out.
We're going to do it live.
5% of Compound Media fans are fucking just the worst people of all. They're all fat fucks. They're all losers. They think Cumia is God. They're the worst. And that's what's going to be at that dumb DabbleCon, a bunch of fucking losers. By the way, Bob, no one's getting laid.
You're coming now? You're coming?
No one's getting laid at DabbleCon. No one's getting pussy there. It's the worst ticket in the fucking history.
We're going to do shows. We're going to do shows there, and we'll do shows, and it'll be packed, and you're going to be upset when you're sitting home, okay? With your Florence.
Yeah, I'll be real sad not being in fucking cold-ass Rochester with nothing to do.
I'd be rather sitting with Chad
No
in
way.
Laborlape's apartment than being in Rochester in the first week of February. That's like
Liar.
that's absolutely true. I don't even care where Chad lives. If I can be in warm weather and have access to Wawa, I'd rather be anywhere than fucking. You've never been to Rochester in February, Bob.
It's a shithole.
It's like going to Antarctica. It's shit.
No, I'm not looking forward to the winter there, but I'm looking forward to the show inside. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's an indoor venue, everybody. The DabbleCon will be indoors at the comedy club. They have heating.
It's gonna be the same temperature in Rochester where they are as they are in Chad's goddamn apartment.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, surprise, surprise, Kevin Brennan doesn't want to be somewhere where people might be enjoying themselves.
You're doing the shows inside? Well, that makes sense.
Exactly. So it's going to be great. It's going to people are coming out, even if they're all fans by themselves. One person is a lot of one people.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do that weekend? I'm going to have Stuttering John on my show.
Yeah,
on my Saturday show.
Oh, that would be fucking beautiful, and you guys could just.
Because I don't think he has a beef with me, and I'll pay him. I'll pay him money. I'll fucking Venmo him money, and then it'll all.
He'll do it then. He'll do it.
Of course he will.
He only does paid. Yeah, you can get him. You're a good boy.
Yeah, he likes me.
Yeah, everybody likes you. I know.
By the way, I'm going to let you guys know I can't read at all right now. My vision is so fucked up, so whatever you're saying, I don't know what the hell's on the screen right now.
Kick Chad, $2 Rock Ape.
Wait, why? Did you get reading glasses yet?
Not yet. I'm going to on Monday. I'm going to look.
You should get eating glasses, you fat fuck. Go on a diet first.
I'm on a diet. I'm feeling great, motherfucker.
Not
eating
yet.
glasses.
We talked like a week ago. All you have to do is go to CVS and grab some reading glasses.
I got shit going on, man. I got shows this weekend.
$5.
Yeah, I had to go do.
You were talking into your phone, walking around the neighborhood for 25 minutes.
You could have walked to CVS and gotten $5 cheaters.
Guys,
By the way, Bob is killing him with those insults,
I know,
motherfucker.
I know.
He said eating glasses.
You fat fuck.
By the way, I've now put a line through 4 other hash marks here. That is 5 lies for Chad. He said he has shit going on and shows to do.
You can't live stream while walking around your neighborhood and then say you have shit going on. Both things can't be true.
Also, the lie that another little cover up that Kevin had to do there was like, Stuttering John stuff is stupid and DabbleCon sucks and it's fucking awful and this and that, and then Kevin goes, well, you guys are doing that. I'm gonna have Stuttering John on.
Yeah, right. Because he's fascinating. We all think he's fascinating.
Let's go to CVS and grab some reading glasses.
I got shit going on, man. I got shows this weekend.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I had to go do Calta. I had to, drive around, get some lunch.
How's Calta doing?
Drive around.
He didn't ask about you, though.
Do you hang out with fatter people now so you look like you're in better shape?
I hang out with your ex-wives.
They're all skinny and everything. You see, you lost again.
Holy shit.
That really, Bob kind of said exactly what we said. Like, oh, there you go, Chad. You couldn't keep up. You went right to the ex-wives. Sorry, pal.
Yeah, Bob even said Bob has ex-wives. Everyone knows that, but they're not like fat broads.
No.
So it doesn't even make sense.
Do you hang out with fatter people?
That's hilarious.
Who are these podcasts?